Moving on, the U.S.-run Guantanamo Bay military prison in Cuba is back in the spotlight based on some new revelations. Inmates there are still being tortured and in some cases intentionally killed. This as one of President Obama's campaign promises in 2008 was to close down the detention facility. Here's a closer look.
A former Guantanamo Bay guard has revealed that the death of 3 detainees, which was covered up by the CIA agents as triple suicide, was actually murder. Sergeant Joseph Hickman, who is a Marine Corps veteran, explained that he was on duty at the prison on June 9, 2006, when 3 men were found hanging in their cells. He said the suicide of 3 detainees at exactly the same time is impossible because the guards check on detainees every 4 minutes. Hickman said as the men were frequent hunger strikers, the guards wanted to get rid of them, believing their strikes could provoke other detainees to do the same. Hickman has written a book about things he witnessed in Gitmo. Meanwhile, a current inmate at the facility has written a diary exposing the brutality of the U.S. rendition program and torture in the prison. Mohamedou Ould Salah's memoir recounts how he endured savage beatings, death threats, and sexual humiliation. The full diary is going to be published in the form of a book in many countries. This is the first book written by a still imprisoned detainee. Salah's manuscript describes a war tour of torture and humiliation that began in his native Mauritania more than 13 years ago and progressed through Jordan and Afghanistan before he was transferred to Guantanamo in 2002. Salah says he was blindfolded, forced to drink salt water, and then taken out to sea on a boat where he was beaten for 3 hours while wrapped up in ice. He says he made a number of false confessions in an attempt to end the torment. Salah's book will be published next week amid renewed calls by civil liberty campaigners for its author's release. Experts say it's proven that the torture techniques in Guantanamo wouldn't work.
Here we have America, who's supposed to be the champion of justice around the world, and they've got this facility which is basically an open torture facility, and they use soft language to cover it up, rendition and enhanced interrogation, which is essentially kidnapping and torture. And it's been proven that it doesn't work. Even the man writing the memoirs says he made a number of false confessions just to stop the torment. And this is just an ongoing thing. And will they ever face charges? I mean, that's the question. The war crimes that we've seen from the United States since World War II and from Israel and everything that we're seeing out of the West, I mean, it's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. And it's just a travesty that these people would be calling out morals to anybody else and suggesting that anybody in the world, that they have a right to go and impose their moral values upon anybody in the world after the travesty of justice, which is Guantanamo Bay. I really hope that we do see something come from this. It's great that someone's actually writing a book about it. People have to know what's going on.
Guantanamo prison was opened at the U.S. Naval Base in Cuba in 2002. It's currently holding 127 inmates, many of them held without charge or trial. President Barack Obama had promised to close the notorious prison before his election in 2008. But still there is no sign of Obama's willingness to deliver on his promise. Many people doubt that anyone responsible for crimes in Guantanamo would ever be brought to justice.